Bricas94 would like to know, do you ever give stuff names? Your drumsticks or your drums or anything you have, do you give them names? Your car?
Not really, no. I'm not a huge naming person. when I was a very small, and if I got given like a teddy bear or whatever, it would just be called Bear.
Fair enough.
Very unimaginative.
That's absolutely fine. Mac O asks if you've ever been to Africa and do you like African music? It's obviously amazing the percussion in African music. Is that something you're interested in?
I have. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Cape Town. And am I interested in music? Well, actually, Tim got me quite into. There's a few different people that. Oh God, I'm going to say this wrong. Tinaruan.
Yeah. Tinaruan.
And which is. Yeah, I mean the rhythms are completely mind blowing, and so yeah, it is definitely something that I'm interested in. But I don't think I don't think I have the skills to recreate a lot of it. I guess a lot of that comes from listening to Graceland, which was one of the sort of big early records that I really really loved as a teenager.
All good. Guitar Keane really likes your drum patterns, thinks they're wonderful, and asks how do you contribute to the songwriting and music making process? How does it work? Tim comes in with a song, what do you do?
Well, Tim will come in with a song. Sometimes it'll just be him at a piano with hardly any words and a bit of a melody. Sometimes he'll have made a whole demo of a song which will include drum patterns and even fills and bass parts and all kinds, guitar solos and things. It really can go from one end of the spectrum to others, as I guess some of you will know from listening to demos that we've released in the past. We all then basically have an equal say in whether we like the lyrics or the melody, or whether some sections are better than others, and Tim will sometimes rewrite a chorus or rewrite a middle eight, and so we all sort of chip in our opinions on that. And also with the structure, we all have different ideas, and even up to the mixing point. I mean, I'm not very good at Logic, but I can make radio edits. I can try snipping out sections and putting songs back together, which again is quite a difficult thing to do. But we all sort of chuck in ideas at that point as well. So once it's within the band, it's basically the more ideas we have, the better. So everyone contributes. All four of us contribute fully in the studio with whatever we can think of.
Speculous knows that you enjoy watching US TV show series while on tour.
Yes.
That's what your favourites are.
My favourite US TV shows, Breaking Bad, I think's amazing. I really enjoyed the first series of Nurse Jackie. Nice to see Edie Falco getting recognised for that. She's amazing. I've watched The Sopranos, which is probably still the greatest TV show of all time. I think I learnt more about American politics through watching The West Wing than I did through reading newspapers. What else? House, obviously. We were huge Fry and Laurie fans, still are. And some of the jokes that are going around Keane have been going around Keane since Fry and Laurie first aired. And they're basically just the same jokes that they made. And Blackadder and things like that. So House, I absolutely love. That'll do. That's a start. 6 Feet Under, I watched that from start to finish. I thought that was great. And Dexter. Speaking of which, of Michael C. Hall, is that the actor's name? I think. Saw him in 6 Feet Under, and then into Dexter, which I think is just amazing.
Next one is from Gmar, which I sort of assumed to be grandma, and yet the question isn't very grandma-ish.
Right.
Hello, Richard. Just wondering, boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Fine. There you go, grandma. No.
Yeah, that's not a hugely grandma-y question.
Next question is from Alahita. Every time I see your great photo blogs on KeaneMusic.com, I wonder what happened with your book.
Yes, the book. I didn't get it done in time, and the trouble is every time you release an album you come out with a load of new photos and you all look a bit different, and so all the photos for the book look really out of date. So eventually I think I will try and do a bit more of a sort of retrospective book over a while, over a few album cycles. But also a friend of mine is setting up a magazine that I might contribute a few photos to, and also I just really like putting them on the blog, so we'll see, but it is something I would still like to do, and with Rob especially, and so one day I just need to get around to doing it.
Fair enough. Keane Star would like to know, or Helen from Mexico, she's also known, what do you feel when you're on stage?
God, what do we feel? Well, it depends how the gig's going, because some nights you just have technical stuff going on that you're just trying to hear what's going on. Other nights, you know, there are some nights where I'll not have any issues at all and it'll just be really fun from start to finish. So, and it depends on the crowd. It really, you know, the way a crowd reacts really does affect how much we enjoy a gig. And so if you see people having fun, it's, I don't know, it really sort of motivates you to give even more. But so most nights it's, I don't know, it's sort of slightly surreal, wondering how we got there. And yeah, just I really enjoy playing shows.
So it's still fun even after all this time.
It is still fun, although it can be quite terrifying as well. When you get that, sometimes you sort of realise that there are thousands of people out there and everything you do is being amplified massively, and it can at that point be quite terrifying.
Ellen from Seattle would like to know, what would be your perfect day? If you could do anything for a day, what would you do?
Oh, blimey. I think I'd have probably a sort of nice, I don't know, boiled egg breakfast, soft-boiled eggs and a nice coffee, and then I'd probably go to the studio and play some music and, you know, work on some songs, and then have, I don't know, probably have a bit of a climb in the afternoon, and then have, you know, see my, you know, my girlfriend and my friends and family, and I don't know, yeah, I don't know, I like going to the cinema, that kind of stuff, go to gigs, yeah, I don't know, comedy shows. I went to see Doug Stanhope recently. It was absolutely brilliant. In fact, it was on my birthday, and yeah, that was great. So maybe go and see him. He's very dark, but very, very funny.
Simple question from Donald Duck, also known as Attic. Canon or Nikon?
Nikon. Or Nikon.
Okay.
As Paul Simon says.
Jess, good question from Jessica. If you had to live in any US city, which US city would you live in?
There's a few.
You've obviously been to a lot, so
we have. There's a few. I don't think I could live anywhere that gets really too hot. So I think that's Dallas and Houston out, and, you know, Phoenix and places like that. I love New York. I go there a lot. I've got a lot of friends who live there. I love Portland, Oregon, and Portland, Maine. Weirdly. They're both really great, and Seattle as well. So I like the sort of Pacific Northwest, although the constant threat of earthquakes sort of scares me slightly. Okay. So I think it would probably be New York.
Karen from New York, there's a link,
Hey.
asks, as a Java junkie, it's always nice to see coffee featured in your photo blog or tweets. How do you take your coffee?
I like flat whites. That's sort of, you know, a double shot and a small amount of milk. So yeah, in London London's sort of catching up with the whole coffee culture. There's an amazing roastery called Square Mile, and they provide, you know, beans to a lot of places around here, and it's really, there are a lot of really great places. So in fact, MrKeaneMusic.com and I are going to one after this.
Sugar?
No sugar, thank you.